Hello and welcome again to another edition of Hot Button. Visitation to a partner's house is sometimes what people use to judge how much you truly care about your other love interests, so to speak. It gives a kind of confidence to you that, hey, this person is warming up to me, and then somehow our relationship is getting to the next level. But a lot of young people have abused this particular idea of visiting a partner and then have brought out sinful acts out of it. And for that reason, we have parents with us today to discuss what they think about letting their children make a visit to their partner. My name is Johnny, and I have with me on the program
Peter Ndukwe Azorondo
and
Oluwafumlayo Adigbinle.
welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're looking at visiting a partner, and we want to see what parents think about this particular thing. Like I stated earlier, some people have abused this particular gesture. Okay. I want to visit you as my female friend. I want my female friend to visit me. But the visits per se is not the problem. It is the act that happens in the course of the visitation. So that is what we want to look at today.
It is very important to visit while in a relationship.
There are many dangers that are associated with visiting the person of the opposite sex.
I think the moral standards you've learned over time should be your guiding principle.
If we are going to visit somebody of the opposite sex, let us go with a third party.
Now, let me ask you a pertinent question. Would you permit, for example, your daughter to visit, her love interest? If you would, why? If you would not, why?
For me, I will not. By God's grace, I have daughters, and as I once said, that training begins from youthful age.
Okay.
You should let the daughter know the do's and don'ts, biblical view about relationship.
Okay.
Relationship is beautiful and it's great if you have a grown child, a grown up, a daughter that is grown and she's ready to go into a relationship and she introduces you to her partner. It's a very beautiful thing, a very great thing.
Okay.
It shows the girl is matured. So if I have a mature daughter that is ready to go into a relationship, I would have told her, I would have allowed her to know her boundaries. Her boundaries is not to visit the partner alone. Alone. These are my reasons. You see, no matter how Christian the girl is or the man is, when biology sets in, spirituality disappears. It's chemistry. Automatically,
Especially if there's no maturity of understanding between
the two of them.
Okay.
Because we're looking at young adults, people from the age of 18 to 21. At that age, they feel like trying a lot of things, and they may be deceived by what they see around. So at that age, they need proper guidance,
Okay.
in order for them to make right decisions.
Okay.
So I will not allow her to visit alone.
Okay.
Her boyfriend.
Underline word.
Alone.
Alone. Okay.
Alone. She can visit with her friend or with a family member.
Okay.
Maybe a brother or a sister.
Okay.
But not alone.
Alone. Okay, let me hear from you, madam. Would you let your child, female child, for instance, now, visit her partner?
Well, if I want to respond to that question, thank you, moderator. I would like to ask, at what age are we talking about?
Young adults.
Young
like
adults.
Pastor said,
Okay.
18, 20,
18.
21, and then maybe up to
Yes.
25.
Well, young adults at the age of 18 will say, okay, there's a little maturity. But my first, I would say the quick answer is no. But if I need to elaborate more, when we talk about relationship, personally, I believe relationship is spiritual. And likewise, as a parent, parenting is spiritual.
Okay.
And because God is the author of the two. God is God of relationship.
Okay.
And he also, when he created, he gave the mandate, multiply and be fruitful. And he expects the parent to nurture. And then we have Proverbs 22:6, the common Bible passage that says, train up a child in the way he should go.
Okay.
And when he grows, he will not depart from it. Then I also love a particular passage in Judges, which talk about a particular generation
Okay.
that do not know God. And that happened because there's a particular generation that failed to do their duty.
Okay.
What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that there is need for parents to help the children.
Okay.
Because the parents are in their own generation, the parent has gone through that experience that child is about to be exposed to. So it is a duty of the parent who has gone through that stage and know the advantages and disadvantages of that experience to help.
Yes.
So like I said, the answer, my quick response will be no.
Okay.
And but looking at it from Proverbs 22:6, we should train up a child. The training didn't start that time.
Okay.
No.
It has started from the beginning, helping the child, because before 18 years, there is a teenage age where the child was being a critical, we call teenage age critical age, where a child will keep on asking questions. So one way or the other, some question would have come up to address that situation. So it is important for parents to have taught the child
to build the foundation.
Exactly, the foundation. And then arriving at that, it is also, before a parent can say no, there's need to also sit down. Would sit such a child down and educate the reason why the parent is saying no. I will not allow you to visit opposite sex alone. Because even among friends, there are a lot of danger that surrounds it. And if at all I will, I need to understand who this friend is.
Good.
The home of this friend, the character of this friend. Does this friend know the Lord? And so on and so forth. The background. So all these things are important before we can arrive at the answer. No.
So depending on what answer you get, you can either say yes or a no. But you said you wouldn't let that be. So where is the place of trust? If your daughter rises and says, I'm going to visit,
I trust my daughter, and I've done my best for her. Giving her the background she needs. As a young person growing up, and as I've trained her in the way of the Lord, but I don't know the other fellow.
Oh, great.
So I've had experiences, as a chaplain. I'm a chaplain. I've had this experience of a lady confessed to me and said she trusted a young man, went to her house, and went to his house, because the young man told him to come over that the mom is sick. The grandmother said, I will come over to visit your grandma. And she went alone to visit the grandma. On getting home, on getting to the young man's place, the grandma was not sick and she was not at home. She has gone to the market. So the young man almost took advantage of the lady. She, in fact, naked her, and the lady had to shout before she could flee from the house, because she ran from the house. So some young men can take undue advantage of the young lady, of a young lady who has a very good background. And rape is common these days. Rape is common these days. If you train your daughter well and she obeys your commandment and everything, what of the young man?
The young man, because a lot of people pretend
to
be who
to be good.
Not.
He can come to you and he can be a church boy and everything. He can have a very good background. His parents could be very good people. But you don't know what his experiences are. You don't know what motivated his invite to your daughter.
And because the heart of a man is desperately wicked,
who can know
we
it?
must all be very careful.
Be careful.
Okay, having said that, I like your perspective to this thing. I have to study the person, I have to understand what
Yes.
kind of character
Yes.
this person is made up of. Now, on the flip side, what if it is your son who happens to be at home and then his girlfriend is visiting him? Would you let that happen?
Well, based on the relationship I have with my son and the training
Okay.
and so on. Well, if a friend chooses to visit my son, a girlfriend, when I mean girlfriend, is normal, opposites. Now, I'm very sure that my child will ask for permission.
From you?
Yes,
Okay.
before that can be done. And if that would be done, then that means I will be at home. And if I'm at home, then that means we need to help them because they are limited. Even though it may sound as if it may appear that they know
Okay.
something, we need to help them.
Okay.
By
Regardless
not-
of whatever age, so long as
Exactly.
you're still dependent.
Exactly,
Okay,
dependent.
okay.
So we need to help them, even if that person came or comes home to visit. We need to. My presence there will be. I will be involved. I will be involved, even though if I may one way or the other may want to leave them alone.
Okay.
The living alone will not be in any dangerous place.
Okay.
You get the point. So I will be involved. So
Okay.
let me say, with my permission, that can only be able to take place.
Okay.
As a father,
Oh, yes,
as a
sir.
father, I will not. Number one, I will not let the girl go into my son's room.
Okay.
Okay, her visits should not be beyond the sitting room, the living
Sitting
room.
room, okay.
Yes.
The living room,
Okay.
Yes. Or the courtyard. You
Okay.
can be at the courtyard
Okay.
to discuss. There's nothing wrong for you to come and see my son. Oh,
okay.
I'll welcome you, very young lady. How are you? Even entertain you, but I will not let the visit.
No privacy at all.
No privacy at
Okay.
all. No privacy at all. Because when you give privacy, sometimes it leads to other things. As I said earlier, when biology sets in,
Okay.
Chemistry.
when chemistry, when
Okay.
the chemistry starts,
Okay.
everything starts coming up, spirituality will disappear. No matter how good your training is with your child, no matter how strong you are, no matter how your biblical foundation is,
Okay.
there is temptation.
Okay.
We shouldn't rule that out.
Okay.
So the visit shouldn't be beyond the sitting room.
Okay.
Oh, you come, we entertain you. You go to the courtyard. And if my wife's at home and she's making something in the kitchen, I expect that the young lady too will see her in the kitchen and be with
Okay.
her in the kitchen
Okay.
to assist in one way or the other.
All right. So you try to bring her into
Into
to relax,
a relaxed environment.
but in a very, very warm atmosphere.
Warm
It doesn't have
atmosphere.
to be them alone,
Alone.
in
No,
a
no,
closed
no,
place.
no.
Now you see that is the problem most young people are beginning to complain about.
Okay.
My parents pry too much. The moment a girl visits me, they will just start walking past, our front anyhow. Even when we are gisting, they want to hear what we are saying, interrupting us. And then the same thing with the daughters. Daddy, you wanted to go out, but you've seen this young man, and all of a sudden, you've gone to drop your suit. You're just walking up and down in front of us, not giving us any time to discuss. How can parents help so that children, young adults would not feel like they are being pried on, would not feel like parents are imposing so much on them or encroaching their privacy or something? How can it be done such that they don't take offense with the way parents come in when they have this opposite sex visitors? Let me hear from you.
Okay. In that regard, I may be guilty in a way,
Okay.
prying, but I feel every younger child every young person should understand
Okay.
the background of the parents and the background the parents raised her
Okay.
or him in. As a Christian parent, because we talk with a Christian perspective,
Okay.
God has called us to be an example to all generations.
Okay.
The same way He called the Israelites to be example in all generations, not to involve in any form of occultic practices, sexual occultic practices
Okay.
of the hidden nation. So that leads us to make sure that our children lives in a proper way,
Okay.
So with that in our head, in our mind, we tend to monitor their behavior and action.
Okay.
Except the child is not under my roof.
Okay.
Except he has grown to the level of saying that I want to be on my own, and he or she leaves my house.
Okay.
But if she's still in my house, I will always monitor.
Okay.
But there will be privacy anyway.
In a very moderate way.
In a
The
moderate
monitoring
way.
could be quite moderate.
It could be quite moderate.
Okay.
Like the courtyard is, if you want to talk with him, go to the courtyard or go out and discuss. You can
Okay.
stand outside and discuss privately. No one will interfere.
Okay.
Sit in the sitting room. I will be in my room, but don't go into your room.
Into your room.
Your
And
room.
it's more like also helping to guide them so
helping.
they don't, get led into temptation.
Led into
or something like
temptations.
that. Okay. Let me hear from you, man.
Well, the guidance is very important. Just like I mentioned, that we need to help them because they don't know.
Okay.
They don't know. We need to help them to know that relationship is good and it's all about God. And God is, at the same time, God is holy, God is spirit, and the fear of God is important in any
Okay.
relationship.
Definitely.
So even if the girlfriend should come home, or maybe the girl eventually in a way, because I could remember an experience I had I was in boarding school. My friend invited me to his cousin's school. Our cousin's school.
Okay.
And my parents weren't there. I was in SS3. And this is secondary school
Okay.
student visiting those in it's a polytechnic school.
Oh, okay. In a high
For the
institution.
first,
Okay.
on the first time I'm meeting this person, who is a cousin to my friend.
Okay.
And lo and behold, he came to also visit his brother.
okay.
And the next thing they wanted a relationship, and the
Wow.
next thing they wanted sex. So I don't know you from nowhere, and that is the next thing you want, and that is why many parents are afraid today. Because I had that experience. But when I look at this, I don't know you, and this is the first thing you want.
There's a little bit of danger.
You understand?
Okay.
But my parents are not there to caution me, but thank God for the fear of God, because already with that I know that this person is driving to is not interested in a faithful relationship, but he just wanted to. So, and with what the training I've got, I've got it from my parents with the fear of God in me. I know it's a no-go area.
Wow. Okay.
No-go area. So, if we are able to build that in our children,
It solves the whole problem.
exactly,
Solves a lot of
because
things. Okay.
the consciousness of God. My parents are not here, but the consciousness, I fear God, the fear of God, the consciousness of God will guide such a child.
Because it has been put there by your
Yes,
parents
exactly.
right from
Exactly.
the
So
beginning.
wherever they go
So
to,
yes, it's not
that's-
about the parent now.
Yes, yes.
It is about the child and
yes.
the relationship of the child with God. So, and that will also help our children, even when they come in contact with all these experiences. Because I always say that when you, as a Christian, we go to church, we pray at home, morning devotion, the Bible, those are time. It's just like in the classroom, you are receiving the lecture. When the time of examination comes, those are the time of
You
all
apply
these
them.
experiences.
Okay.
So what have you learned so far? We play out.
Okay.
Yes.
So whatever we are able to build into these children, when they are faced with these situations,
These
how they are able to
Overcome.
respond to that situation, that is what will determine if they are really make a decision in their relationship with God.
And when they leave home, most cases when they leave home, they're on their own, especially when they go to the university. Because
Okay.
from 16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
they're already in the university.
Definitely.
University. So when they leave home and they go to the university, they go with the lessons they've learned from home. That will guide them.
Okay.
That will guide them. Because I will always tell them that my dad or my mom instructed me in this manner and instructed me to fear the Lord. And if I misbehave, I am not sinning against them. I'm not sinning against, but I'm sinning against who?
God.
God. Sinning against. Like Joseph, we use the example of Joseph. Joseph was a young man faced with same challenge. At the age of 17, thereabout, he found himself in
Yes.
Potiphar's house. And all of a sudden, Potiphar's wife wants him in bed. But the young man ran for his life, dear life, because he knows what God wanted.
Okay.
And he kept to that. Jacob was not present with him. Jacob was far away,
exactly.
Thousands of miles away.
Exactly.
But Joseph stood firm for the Lord. In that same vein, when we train our children well, we'll impute into them the knowledge and the truth about God.
Okay.
They will stand firm, even in the face of trials and tribulations.
Okay.
But in a case whereby, for the ladies, for the men, they could easily struggle and they will leave. But for the ladies, we find out that ladies are more weaker than men. So they could be suppressed when they visit the male partner.
Okay.
So the advice is don't go.
Okay, so it is not a case of I haven't imbibed it in you. It has been put there. But my concern is the other person who can easily suppress you, even when you are applying all the things,
all the things
you have been taught, all the cautions.
Yes.
Which means this brings us to, understand that parents have a very big role to play.
Very big role.
So these foundational instructions must be established in every child's life, male, female, and then must be established strongly. Meaning parents should understand the different stages that a young man or a young woman is likely to go through.
Yes.
And then take them one after the other, dishing out this instruction as it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Wow. Well said. Well, there are still young people out there who will feel like, hey, you are telling me all this will happen. So if I have a girlfriend, how am I supposed to bond, to know this person? What are we supposed to do? How do we get to know each other? So what are other appropriate ways that young people like us could bond together, understand one another without creating that atmosphere of temptation? Okay, let me start from here.
Bond. God has created us human to socialize.
Okay.
And in the aspect of socializing, I want to thank God for Seventh-day Adventist Church. AYM is an interesting is an avenue to bond because there are so many activities there.
Okay.
That if you are involved as a child and the other person is involved, it can go a long way.
Okay.
Or maybe if they are far away in the school,
NAS.
there are NAS. Involvement in ministry.
Yes.
Because we are talking about Adventism here. There are activities that can bring, because when you stay together in a secluded place, doing what? Because when you started, you said there's nothing wrong in the visit, but the sinful act
that happens.
Yes, the content.
Yes, the content.
So the time they will spend together, what are those things that they will put into it? What was the talk about dating sometimes? Okay, go to restaurant, eat together, discuss, but even if you want to get to know each other, there are activities you can involve in, not being alone, but even in the midst of friends.
In the midst of friends.
When you do things together maybe in AYM or other activities in NAS, it helps from there. You will be able to know this person's attitude, this person's character, the likes and dislikes, because those are the content of dating. I want to know him. I want to know his character. I want to know what he likes, what he likes, and so on. But if you are involved in these activities, from there you will be able to know the real person.
Okay.
The real person, if at all the maybe dating or whatever can lead to maybe marriage later on in life. So it's important for them to know that there are activities that they can involve in, which all those activities have been provided in AYM, in NAS. A lot of activities that they can do together.
Even a single. So you're saying young people should engage themselves in godly activities, especially in the confines of the church.
Yes.
So that you can't have godliness overdose. Is there
at all? It's the way of life.
So if you keep engaging in godly activities, you can still bond.
We can still bond
in a very godly and a manner that will not, will not contravene God's instructions.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, let me hear from you more.
To add to what she said, you see, in this, when you have this godly program, when you involve yourself in this godly program, you know each other, you understand each other.
Okay.
You know the background of each person, you know the character. Because when we play together, sometimes we let out what is hidden in us. So you understand, oh, I understand Chaplain Adegbenle because we've been together in the same program. So we will understand each other better. We know her do's and her don'ts. So from there we bond together, we'll be able to understand each other. So you can now ask her if you want a relationship, you can go ahead with the relationship, but in that confine.
Okay.
That confine, because in the confine of godliness, and there is beauty in the confine of godliness.
There's beauty in the confine.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I
Yes.
love that statement.
There is beauty in it, because you see a glorious a person who will understand you, who will love God at the same time.
Okay.
Because you've grown together in the same program,
Okay.
God's program, and you showcase godly attributes and attitude.
Okay.
And you also know their parents.
Okay.
You know their parents because you see them in church. You know where
church.
they're coming from.
Okay.
They are not abstract.
Okay.
The relationship is not abstract. It's something you know. You'll be
Okay.
involved in. So from there is bond.
Okay.
There is bond. You can bond together. And I've heard of parents who said they met in NAS, they met in AYM, even they met in school, in college,
Okay.
in school as students.
And there could be unity of purpose because you have confined yourself
Yourself.
in the same environment,
Environment.
learning godly
God,
things.
yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, in a very short word, what would be your advice to any young person out there who is expecting to visit a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Very short.
My young people at home, I just want to say that you don't visit alone, and that you need to be very wise. You see, I'm a child of God, and I don't overlook the place of prayer and my relationship with God. So if you know you're a child of God and you want to go into a relationship, do not leave the place of prayer. And that means you're talking to God about it for his direction and for his will to be done. So if you are to visit, God has a way of telling you yes or no, if you are to go alone. But the point is no to going alone. And if you are going to go in the company of friends, be wise enough. If there's any red flag, please flee.
Okay, if there is any red flag, please flee. Let me hear from you. Very short advice.
I would say don't go alone, except you have an adult going with you or an adult in the house.
Okay.
Don't go alone. It's risky. There are a lot of things happening these days that will destroy who you are. If you make some decisions, please don't.
All right.
Please
Thank you
don't.
so much. Thank you so much for that advice. I'm sure someone has picked something
Yes.
from it today. And I thank you so much for dishing out your words of wisdom to we young people here. We really appreciate it. It is all about guidance and the right direction. All right, that's the much we can take on the program today. You've heard it all. If you have to visit at all, you could visit with a friend. And the most important thing that I grabbed from this today is there is beauty when you confine yourself to God's atmosphere. Do that in your relationship and watch how you grow in success and in true happiness. God bless you for being a part of us. Join us again another time. Bye for now.